indigenously and putting it into space will be a big step up for India. And this takes a lot of effort, months, sometimes years. As you can see, scientists waiting for the moment. 9:18 a.m. is when we are being told this launch will take place. So the first test flight of SSLV ended in partial failure. It was 9th August, remember, last year. The upper stage of the launch vehicle injected the satellite into a highly elliptical, unstable orbit. There was a shortfall in velocity. There was an investigation that was done into the failure about the vibration disturbance for a short duration on the equipment bay. All of that was made changes to, and what you see right now are some of the scientists, officials who must have put in a lot of hard work, logistical and structural changes, and of course backed by the government and its encouragement and support. We have now SSLV D2 EOS 707 mission, and in just a short while, another 10 minutes, we'll be looking at that full velocity rocket to be pushing into the space from Sriharikota. It will be intending to, this rocket that you're looking at will be injecting EOS 07, Janus 1, Azadi SAT2. A quick update to you about these three satellites that are going to be put in. It's very interesting. One is Isro's EOS 07. Second is US-based firm Antares' Janus 1. And then there is a Chennai-based space startup, Space Kids, Azadi SAT2. Some of these children who are involved in making a satellite. Remember, the encouragement is not just for the scientists, for young teenagers, girls and boys who think they are budding scientists and are literally indulging in this participation. Let's go on the ground now. India Today's Shilpa Nair with the latest. Shilpa, you got us that heartwarming interaction with the children, their teachers, and it's incredible to specifically hear it from young girls and their aspirations and dreams. What is the situation looking like right now? Has the area been barricaded? Is public being allowed? Or is this clearly a specific invitee event?
Well, Pooja, exactly 8 more minutes to go for the launch of SSLV. And currently we are at the media center where all journalists are kept. The students whom we spoke to just a short while back, all of those 750 students who had come, all of them, had worked towards developing the Azadi satellite, which would also be launched by the SSLV. They have been taken to the viewers gallery from where they will be given, a place to see the SSLV launch. And this, of course, is a big moment for ISRO and even the country. Remember, the SSLV launch was attempted once, but it was a partial success. There were some technical glitches that the ISRO had encountered at that point in time, and all of those glitches have been rectified this time around, is what the scientists at ISRO are telling us. And this, of course, is a big time, and this is a big moment for the ISRO. And it's the first launch in 2023 that the ISRO is doing, and there are, of course, 3 satellites, like you rightly mentioned. One, of course, is the EOS 7. The other one is a US-based satellite, which is Janus 1, and, of course, the Azadi satellite, which was developed by the young kids here in Chennai and across the world. 750 girls were part of this project from across the country, and they have developed that particular satellite. And this, of course, this SSLV mission, it can carry satellites weighing up to 500 kilograms. This is meant for mini and micro satellites. That, of course, is the a major advantage. The turnaround time is lesser. The flight time also, what we're given to understand, is only going to be 15 minutes. So in 15 minutes, the satellites will reach the orbit and be injected into the orbit, is what
Shilpa, I'm very curious to see that what we are witnessing from our television screens and, of course, from the source provided by ISRO. How far are you?
EOS 07 is injected at an altitude of...
Well, unfortunately, we're very far from that place. The launch pad is several kilometers away from where we are standing, because that is the setup here at Satish Dhawan Space Centre, where the launch pad is kept kilometers away from the media center. So I think you have a better view than what I have right now. But yes, of course, once it takes off, we'll probably get a better view of the...
Tell me about the preparations by the scientists, the officials, the school children who've been brought in. Why specifically have the school children been invited? Because many will say they may not understand much about the SSLV D2's technicalities and its launch initiatives.
इस प्रमोचक यान में कई नई तकनीकों का
ISRO,
प्रयोग
and
किया
they
जा रहा
believe
है।
that these are the moments where they can also bring in school children, give them that confidence that they can also be part of this big team, this prestigious team that works round the clock for the space mission in India. And they, of course, are trying to encourage students to get into the field of aeroscience, and that, of course, is the reason why they are encouraging more and more kids to come. And in fact, the fact that they allowed an organization like Space Kids to take part in this entire mission, that in itself speaks volumes about how they want to groom the younger generation. We spoke to that younger kids, and I hope we can play out the reaction that we've managed to get from them as well.
Because I want to run as many reports that you're also sending to us from Sriharikota. Shilpa Nair just spoke a short while ago to some young girl students who are there right now at Isro to be witnessing this firsthand. Let's dip into that. Listen in to this report.
Well, it's a big day for the ISRO, for the country, and I think it's a bigger moment for these young girls because this is girl power in full glory. These are students who are part of the 750-member girls group who developed this particular satellite, the Asadi satellite, which is one among the 3 satellites that will be injected into the orbit by the SSLV. And the excitement here is palpable. I've been speaking to them since morning. They're all smiles. They're all fully excited. Let's straightly speak to them. Tell us, what is Azadi satellite, and how did you manage to take time out of your classes, hectic tuition classes, all of that, and spend time for this project? How did you manage to do that?
Our teachers selected us for the Azadi Sat because earlier we were interested in science. So we got a chance to do the programming of the Azadi Sat satellite, and it was a great experience. Although we were able to manage it properly, but as we were interested, so we took time out of it, and then we did it. But last time it was a failure. But I guess someone said it's a great thing that we fail, we learn, then we fail, we learn again, and then we achieve the success. So today is the day of a success, hope for us.
That's something, that's a very nice thing to say, that there are no failures, there are only learnings. Like she rightly said, the last time around when they attempted to put this satellite in the orbit, there were some technical glitches that they encountered, and the mission was only a partial success. This time around, have you made modifications? What changes have you made? And she said it was a learning. What exactly was that learning?
So we made modifications. We did some programming changes, a little bit of changes there. And in case of you say learning, first we learn. Once you learn, you fall off, and then you stand again, then you achieve the success. That was the first learning. जीत के जो हारता है वही सबसे ऊपर जाता है. That was one of the sayings that my mom told me when our first satellite failed and was not successful. I cried the whole night. My mom was just consoling me, and she's saying, next time you would succeed and you would be up there, your satellite with your name would be up in the sky. So don't get sad, don't get disappointed, because next time you're going to be the star, you're going to rock the stage.
All right, so what you're looking at, remember, and the girls you just heard, it's incredible. These are teenager girls, and they are part of the Chennai-based space startup Space Kids Azadi SAT-2. That's also going to be launched with the rocket that you're looking at on your screen. So just barely any time to go, less than a minute. Let's dip in now to this countdown. This is the most incredible moment. Must be nerve-wracking for the scientists, officials, and anyone involved. Let's dip into that as the countdown begins to SSLV D2 launch into the space. Fingers crossed, prayers of 1 billion people. All right, so less than 10 seconds to go, and the countdown you'll hear in just next 5.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Beautiful launch of SSLV D2 EOS 07 on a bright sunny morning.
Even tracking.
प्रज्वलन और सफलतापूर्ण उत्थापन SSLV D2 प्रमोचक यान का अपनी उद्दिष्ट कक्षा की ओर SSLV D2 EOS 7 मिशन
We have confirmation from the Range Operations Director of the normal performance of Stage 1, which means close to 2,600 kilonewtons thrust. 87 tons of solid propellant burns for 115 seconds.
भारत के आज़ादी के अमृत महोत्सव को दर्शाता भारत का एक और महत्वपूर्ण मिशन दिन के उजाले में दूर तक दिखाई दे रहा है। बहुत से दर्शक आंखों देखा अनुभव लेने यहाँ उपस्थित हुए हैं। ये अपने आप में अविस्मरणीय अनुभव होता है।
They have to track every second the manner in which it has hit into the sky and will be entering into the space. So let's listen in to what is being checked every few seconds as the rocket has been propelled into the air.
जैसे जैसे यान ऊपर जा रहा है हम देख रहे हैं इसके सभी तंत्र सामान्य निष्पादन कर रहे हैं और यान निर्धारित दिशा की ओर अपने आप को निरंतरित करता हुआ आगे जा रहा है।
So this is what the SSLV D2, the new rocket, will do. It will attempt to put 3 satellites. Isro's EOS-07, US-based firm Antares Janus 1 and Chennai-based space startup Space Kids Azadi SA2 into a 450-kilometer circular orbit. It will be a 15-minute flight. And that is why they want to check every second that is being done, that it has to be a direction and a trajectory that this rocket must follow.
The simulation of the flight. The separation of SS1 will follow the ignition of second stage.
कुछ ही क्षणों में द्वितीय चरण का प्रज्वलन हो प्रथम चरण को पृथक कर दिया जाएगा।
So I can tell you now that stage 1 has been successfully cleared, as the scientists have confirmed when the rocket was propelled.
द्वितीय चरण का प्रज्वलन शुरू हो चुका है और प्रथम चरण को सफलतापूर्वक पृथक कर दिया गया है।
The second stage of the rocket has commenced its operation and the first stage has been separated. Burn time for SS2 is 124 seconds. This rocket stage with carbon fiber motor case contains 7.7 tons of HTPB based solid propellant.
ऊष्मा कवच को पृथक कर दिया गया है। अब हम प्रमोचन से 177 सेकंड की दूरी पर आ चुके हैं। अभी ऊंचाई 182 किलोमीटर है तथा सापेक्ष गति 2.6 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड।
The closed loop guidance has been initiated and the payload fairing has been separated. The course correction of the launch vehicle takes place through a feedback loop.
Performance normal.
SS2 द्वितीय चरण सामान्य निष्पादन करता हुआ SS2 चरण का प्रज्वलन पूर्ण होने के पश्चात 140 सेकेंड का कोस्ट फेज शुरू होगा। इस कोस्ट फेज में बिना किसी प्रज्वलन के प्राप्त संवेग से यान 423 किलोमीटर की ऊंचाई प्राप्त करेगा।
Shar, Bangalore continue to track. Trivandrum and Port Blair stations have started to acquire the data.
Second stage action completed.
द्वितीय चरण का प्रज्वलन काल समाप्त हो गया है तथा कोस्ट फेज जारी है।
Vehicle is in combined hosting and performance is normal.
Including a coast phase of 138 seconds, the SS2 will separate 260 seconds after it commenced its operation. During the operation of SS2, the launch vehicle would have gained 423 kilometers altitude and 3.3 kilometers per second relative velocity.
वर्तमान में शार, बेंगलोर, त्रिवेंद्रम तथा पोर्ट ब्लेयर स्थित भू ट्रैकिंग स्टेशंस यान को ट्रैकिंग कर हम तक आंकड़े उपलब्ध करा रहे हैं। कोस्टिंग फेज जारी है। EOS 7 उपग्रह मुख्यतः ऐसे नेतभारों का प्रयोग कर रहा है जो कि माइक्रो सैटेलाइट बस से सुसंगत और भावी उपग्रहों के लिए उपयोगी नवीन तकनीकों का प्रदर्शन करेंगे। इसमें मिलीमीटर वेव ह्यूमिडिटी साउंडर तथा स्पेक्ट्रम मॉनिटरिंग जैसे पेलोड लगे हुए हैं।
+6 minutes.
EOS 7 का कुल भार 156 kg है तथा इसका कार्यकाल 1 साल का निर्धारित किया गया है। कुछ ही क्षणों में द्वितीय चरण को यान से पृथक कर दिया जाएगा तथा तृतीय चरण का प्रज्वलन शुरू होगा।
Stage separated.
The third stage SS3
Stage ignited.
has commenced its operation.
जी हाँ, तृतीय चरण का प्रज्वलन शुरू हो चुका है। यह भी करीब 104 सेकंड तक चलकर शांत हो जाएगा। उसके बाद कोस्ट फेज की शुरुआत होगी।
+7 minutes.
तृतीय चरण का प्रज्वलन सामान्य।
HTPB based solid propellant with a loading of 4.5 tons produces a vacuum thrust of 160 kilonewtons. The stage burns for 104 seconds. The current altitude is 449 kilometers.
इस चरण के अंत तक हम 450 किलोमीटर की ऊंचाई तथा 7.24 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड की सापेक्ष गति प्राप्त कर चुके होंगे।
+8 minutes.
वर्तमान में हम 480 सेकंड आगे आ चुके हैं प्रमोचन से। यान की ऊंचाई 453 किलोमीटर तथा सापेक्ष गति 6.9 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड।
Third stage action completed.
तृतीय चरण का प्रज्वलन काल समाप्त हो चुका है तथा कोस्ट फेज जारी है।
Presently, the third stage has completed its operation,
Vehicle performance normal.
but has not yet been separated. It is a coast phase along with the spent stage mass, velocity trimming module, and the satellites. The duration of coast phase is designed according to the mission requirements, considering the altitude to be reached and velocity to be attained at the time of injection. In the meantime, let me tell you about the satellites taking a ride in this mission. The primary satellite for this mission, EOS-07, is a microsatellite weighing 156 kgs, accommodating new technology payloads, millimeter wave humidity sounder, and spectrum monitoring payload. These new technologies, when proven, will be implemented in future operational satellites. The co-passenger satellite Janus-1 from USA is a technology demonstrator smart satellite mission based on Antares software platform. Janus-1 demonstrates modular bus and multi-tenant payloads with onboard edge computing programmable smart EPS, SX band SDR,
Vehicle performance normal.
secure TNC, and digital twinning with SAS platform. Azadi Sat-2 is an A2 nanosatellite made by Space Kids India that aims to demonstrate the LoRa and amateur radio communication capabilities, measure radiation levels in space, and demonstrate expandable satellite structure.
अभी यान का कोस्ट फेज जारी है। यान पूरी तरीके से निर्धारित पथ का अनुकरण करता हुआ अपनी उद्देश्य कक्षा की ओर बढ़ रहा है। इस यान में आजादी सेट एक क्यूब सेट है जिसका भार 8 केजी है। इसे 75 फेम्टो एक्सपेरिमेंट्स के लिए विभिन्न नितभार हैं। इन नितभारों को स्पेस किड्स इंडिया द्वारा एकीकृत किया गया है। इसमें UHF, VHF फ्रीक्वेंसी बैंड ट्रांसपॉन्डर्स लगे हुए हैं जो कि ध्वनि तथा डेटा दोनों के प्रेषण में सक्षम हैं। तृतीय चरण को पृथक कर दिया गया है। यह अंतिम तंत्र वेलोसिटी ट्रिमिंग मॉड्यूल यह यान को अंतिम अभिवृत्ति तथा गति प्रदान करेगा।
The velocity trimming module has ignited and is currently imparting correct orbital parameters for the spacecraft.
सर्वप्रथम हम देखेंगे EOS 7 का अंतःक्षेपण।
Velocity trimming module thrust cutoff.
Plus 12 minutes.
Satellite injection is the next awaited event.
Satellite injection conditions are achieved.
अंतःक्षेपण की स्थितियां प्राप्त की जा चुकी हैं। कुछ ही क्षणों में EOS 7 का अंतःक्षेपण निर्धारित कक्षा में किया जाएगा।
The nominal time of 785 seconds past the launch is scheduled for the prime satellite EOS 07 for injection.
निर्धारित क्रमानुसार EOS 7 प्रथम अंतःक्षेपित होगा, उसके बाद Janus 1, फिर अंत में आजादी Sat 2।
EOS 07 satellite separated.
मुख्य उपग्रह EOS 7 का सफलतापूर्वक अंतःक्षेपण कर दिया गया है।
There we have the confirmation of the prime satellite EOS 07 separating from the launch vehicle. As per the mission objectives, 2 more satellites awaiting their separation.
नए प्रमोचक यान का प्रदर्शन करता हुआ SSLV D2
Janus 1, 22.5 kg satellite from USA, next to be separated.
उचित अभिवृत्ति प्राप्त करता हुआ यान
Plus 15 minutes.
Janus 1 satellite separated.
Janus 1 के अंतःक्षेपण की पुष्टि की जा चुकी है। उसे सफलतापूर्वक उसके निर्धारित कक्षा में स्थापित किया जा चुका है।
Janus 1 has also been separated.
Satish satellite
And
2 separated.
here we have Azadi
All
Sat 2
three satellites
separation
are
also.
separated. SSLV D2 EOS-07 mission accomplished. Handing over to mission director.
सभी को बहुत शुभकामनाएं। मिशन इस तरीके से पूरा हुआ।
SSLV D2 EOS-07 mission has been fully accomplished.
With the successful launch of SSLV D2 EOS-07 mission, ISRO now has a new credible member in its launch vehicle family. Congratulations to Team ISRO. We are signing off from the commentary box. Do continue to join us for the address by Secretary DOS Chairman ISRO.
शुभ दिन, नमस्कार।
All right, so we'll be soon cutting across to a statement from the ISRO chairperson as well. But look at this visual on your screen. You're looking at the success. You're looking at the handshakes and greetings and happy tears. But behind this is months and years of hard work, struggle, and putting structural and logistic changes. What you're looking at, just let me help it compile for you before we listen to the chairperson, that ISRO's Earth Observation Satellite EOS-07, Janus 1 belonging to Antares of the United States of America, and Azadi Sat 2 belonging to Space Kiss India and Chennai, lifted off and have been separated by this rocket from the first launch pad at Sriharikota. It was a 15-minute flight. Let's listen in now to the ISRO chairperson.
Satellite director. Ravi. So congratulations, the space community of India. So we have a new launch vehicle, small satellite launch vehicle SSLV. In its second attempt today, SSLV D2 has placed the EOS-07 satellite in its intended orbit very accurately. Along with the EOS-07, two more satellites were also placed in the required orbit, Janus 1 through NSIL and from the Antares, and Azadi Sat through InSpace realized by the Space Kids. So congratulations to all three satellite teams for making the satellites as well as placing in the right orbit, and I wish all the very best to the rest of the operations of the satellite for accomplishing their mission goals. Probably all of you are aware that SSLV had its maiden flight, SSLV D1, and we had a narrow miss of placing the satellite in the orbit because of a shortfall in velocity. And I'm very happy to report that we have analyzed the problems faced in the SSLV D1, identified the corrective actions, implemented in a very fast pace, qualified all of those new systems, went through large amount of simulations and studies to ensure that the vehicle will become success this time. And I'm very happy to see that the really intended model of the vehicle has been executed in reality in flight. So we have also a good news that the orbit achieved by the vehicle today, using its very novel, cost-effective and very innovative guidance and navigation system, is exceedingly good. We were targeting to put it in a 450-kilometer orbit. We have very close apogee and perigee, as well as inclination is very small, error only. And this also shows that the new model of the vehicle navigation system and electronics that we incorporate in SSLV is doing very well. Before I speak further, I would like to introduce very important people who have worked behind the scenes to make this mission success. First and foremost is the mission director of SSLV, Sri S. Vinod, who is a veteran of the PSLV era, who has taken this task of developing this vehicle along with a small team of people. I think they have toiled for the first mission as well as second mission. Now I will hand over to him to talk about the vehicle, and also then to the project director of the satellite, EOS-07, Sri Ravichandra Babu, will speak after that. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. Let me first say good morning, ISRO, and good morning, India. It's a momentous occasion for us. It's a proud occasion for ISRO that we have now a new launch vehicle to be offered to the launch vehicle community. It all began in 2018, a journey which started in 2018 had reached its intended destination today. The journey which has traversed through its nascent phase of configuration, realization, fabrication, testing, analysis, and finally it even had to overcome the COVID phase. It reached the launch pad last year, and we had the maiden flight in August, 7th August. As mentioned by Chairman, we had a small anomaly observed in that, and we couldn't put the satellites in the intended orbit. But detailed analysis further by a number of teams was carried out, and we were able to pinpoint the problem in the system, and we had to overcome that. And I would like to say that we overcame that, and in the shortest period of 5 months, we have come back. In the shortest period of 5 months, we had to realize 5 new hardwares, a new separation system. In addition to that, we have to make modification to the navigation and the guidance scheme, and also carry out a lot of testing to make the system robust. Today, we could accomplish with this launch the laid objective of SSLV, that's to have a low-cost, low turnaround time satellite which can offer launch on demand. This would not have been possible but for the effort of a number of people. I think the entire Isro has worked for us. The launch vehicle team in VSSC, the navigation team in IASU, the propulsion team in liquid propulsion team in LPSC. We had the range team, and also the ISTRAC team, and also the satellite team jiving with us to realize this happen. I thank all of them for the tremendous support they have offered to us. And of course, we derive our confidence from our review mechanism. There have been a lot of review mechanism, and starting from the design review, the configuration review, then the post-flight review, the post-test analysis, all those things, the review mechanism has helped us, and I today acknowledge the rigorous review conducted by all the review committee and thank them for the support. I also thank the management which had shown confidence in the relatively new small team to realize this new launch vehicle for Isro in the shortest period which is possible. Especially our chairman, Sri Somnath, who is the main architect of the vehicle, and he is considered as the system engineer for this. And he has been the main support for us, always helping out in all the conditions, and so that we are able to resolve all our issues and come back on track. Thank you very much, sir, for the support you have offered to us. I would like to thank the satellite team also led by Sri Ravichandra Babu. They also made the satellite in the shortest possible time with innovative technology, and they were able to jive with our launch. And I would also thank the confidence shown by ENSIL and InSpace for assigning 2 more passenger payload to us in the development phase itself. Last but not the least, I would like to thank the family members of Isro for the support and the motivation they give to us, which makes us to do things like this. And on a personal note, I would like to thank my wife, Smita, who also helped me in my situation of a medical emergency for the past 3 months. She has been supporting me mentally and physically. So as a last, I would say that we would be coming back soon with the next launch of SSLV to make Isro as well as the nation proud. Jai Hind.
इसरो ने अंतरिक्ष में गाड़ा है एक और कह सकते हैं.
And here a word of appreciation thanks to our scientists at Isro. This, remember, is a step up also for India to prove to the world that it does not really always need the foreign space research organizations, and someday we'll have perhaps Isro right there at par with the NASA and other organizations as well. Let's bring in Shilpa Nair for the latest on that. Shilpa, what an incredible moment, and even if I may not understand all the technicalities of even SSLV D2, that sheer applause that came in after stage 1, 2, 3 and the separation of the satellites that were launched into the orbit, that's when you knew that these scientists are celebrating those months and years of hard work and finally that moment they were waiting for.
Well, absolutely, Pooja. And like you said, we may all not really know the technicalities, but that moment when they announced that, yes, the mission has been accomplished, those scenes of the scientists clapping and hugging each other, congratulating each other, those are very, very precious moments, a very proud moment for India. And look at ISRO, consistently upping their game, mission after mission. Even this one, the SSLV, though there was a minor glitch in the last mission, they have taken corrective measures, and that's what exactly, the scientists here, of course, told the media as well. They did face some glitches in the last mission, but they went through a detailed review process. They made corrections, and this time around, the mission has exceeded their expectations. That is, of course, what the ISRO chief has also said, and the entire team completely elated. And just a short while back, when we spoke to the kids who worked on the Azadi satellite from Space Kids India, they said, yes, the last time around they were quite disappointed that the mission was only a partial success, but they said they never took it as a failure, they took it as a learning, and that's precisely what the scientists at ISRO has also been doing. Everything is a learning. Even the last mission was a learning.
And Shilpa, that's what I want to wrap up with. The visuals on our screens right now maybe telling us, of course, about the success of SSLV D2 launch. It separated these satellites, technology demonstrators in the space, and of course they will continue to be tracked by our missions. But remember, amid the 3 satellites, one is of Space Kids. It is the SAT, the Azadi SAT, and it included school children, teenager, young girls who were part of this mission. That's how dreams are made of. So if anyone is thinking, why would young Indian teenagers be interested in science? Let young Indian teenagers tell you how it's done. I'm wrapping up with these visuals as well. Here's hoping it inspires many more of Indians to become scientists in future. Thank you for watching.
तो जैसे सबसे तेज आपकी टैगलाइन है, तो इसी तरह से सबसे तेज हमारी सरकार की लाइफलाइन है.
Thank Mr. Puri.
I thank you for giving me the chance to address you.
Terrorism now a global issue.
The First Lady position is so unusual.
Never in my career did I ever see that love and affection in any other country than we saw in India in '79.
Pakistan has been responsible chronically for association with sponsorship of terrorist groups.
Mr. G, what I do want you to do, since we are at this iconic facility, if you could just tell us what's happening around us, because there's so much movement, you can just give us a rough idea. How do these 55 acres of this facility, how does it operate, and how do you manage to make it efficient and truly scale up the volumes and increase business via this facility?
Yeah, this is only one factory. As I told you, we have 2 factories. This is not the surprising issue. This is only one factory.
Yeah.
In this factory, we are producing refrigerator about 2 million sets per year. Only this factory. And then RAC about 1 million sets. And then washing machine front loader also we are producing here almost 6 lakh quantity, and also TV also. So this is one of the general production sites of LG India here. So now most of them is we are digesting in local domestic market. So that's why we say India has a most potential country of global.
These are all good things to hear, Mr. G. But lastly, just one thing I want to understand is, when you consider LG's India business and you compare it to markets around the world, how does it rank compared to far more developed markets?
No. Maybe it will be very surprising if you heard what I'm saying is, India is world ranking number 2. India business size of LG India, right after USA market.
Okay.
Globally, USA ranking number 1, India ranking number 2. Others, number 3, we have very big gap with number 3. That's why we LG also have a very proud of business with India here.
And we hope that you do visit the Pune facility more and come and visit us in the Tech Today studio in Mumbai.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll show you around and you can tell us a little bit more about your gadgets.
Why not? Thank you.
Absolutely.
I'm just waiting for you.
Thanks so much for joining us on
Thank
Tech
you very
Today.
much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
An estimated 21,000 people have lost their life in Turkey and Syria. Time is running out for the survivors. But amid all this, there's a glimmer of hope as little children have been able to be brought out from those cracks and sometimes with their family members. So what you're looking at are these visuals coming in. Rescue operation is in full measure, but it's been 72 hours after the earthquake. Freezing temperature, raining in some areas. Families now taking to cars as their home have been reduced to dust. Turkey's President Recep Erdogan has urged citizens to keep patience and has pledged to rebuild shattered towns and cities within a year. Here, take a look at some of the ground reports.
There are several Indian Army personnel who are deployed here. So it's a 99-member field hospital team with 12 doctors. And with me is Colonel Yadveer Singh. Colonel Yadveer Singh is the commanding officer of this hospital. Colonel Singh, what can you tell us about the infrastructure that you've been able to set up here?
We came here as a level 2 facility, approximately 30-bedded hospital. We have all our specialists, surgical specialists, medical specialists, orthopedic surgeons, anesthetists, and we can set up an intensive care unit also. So we came here basically prepared for this disaster relief. So we are accordingly prepared. We are a 99-member team from 60 Para Field Hospital, and Indian Army was quick enough to deploy us in time. So we reached Adana day before yesterday. Overnight we drove down and reached yesterday morning. And over a period of 2 days we have seen many casualties, and most of them are fractures. They have been buried under the rubble for more than 3 days. So they were dehydrated and broken bones and sometimes seriously debilitated. But they have been taken care of, and we are at our job.
Thank you very much, sir. So if you look around, this is where you have a team of doctors who are on standby to look after patients. And if I just show you around the hospital right now, this is where medicines are being stocked up. Especially for the senior citizens, children, immediate medicines. That's the reception of the hospital. So any patient who comes in, any of the emergency vehicles, they bring in the patients here. This actually is a school, and this school has been converted into a field hospital. So the moment patients are brought in, they're treated here, and after that, should they require, there's an X-ray facility, we are told, at this place. There's a CT scan facility, but after providing immediate care at the field hospital, if required, they're then referred to a bigger hospital in Adana or in other parts of Turkey. With cameraman Kripal Singh at the Iskenderun Indian Army Field Hospital in Turkey, Gaurav Sawant for India Today.
The team of Gaurav Sawant and Kirpal Singh will continue to bring us latest updates coming in from Turkey. Stay tuned to India Today. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself.
The world is looking to India now at the helm of G20 to energize global partnership in several critical areas. This reminds me of what Mahatma Gandhi had said. I do believe, and I quote, I do believe that India can make a lasting contribution to the peace and solid progress of the world, unquote.
An optimistic beginning to the RBI governor's statement on the first monetary policy after the union budget. soon followed by concerns over the one economic indicator religiously tracked by policymakers at the Reserve Bank of India.
Headline inflation has moderated with negative momentum in November and December. We need to see a decisive moderation in inflation. We have to remain unwavering in our commitment to bring down CPI headline inflation. Thus, monetary policy has to be tailored to ensuring a durable disinflation process. A rate hike of 25 basis points is therefore considered as appropriate at the current juncture.
According to the RBI, inflation this fiscal is expected at 6.5%, much above the target of 4%. For 2023-24, the central bank has estimated a figure of 5.3%, which still is much higher than the RBI comfort level. This sustained inflation is the big reason RBI has decided to continue with its task of withdrawing excess liquidity from the market. The RBI hiked repo rate by another 25 basis points to a 4.5-year high of 6.5%. The decision steered in part by global outlook.
The global economic outlook does not look as grim now as it did a few months ago. Growth prospects in major economies have improved, while inflation is on a descent, though inflation still remains well above the target in major economies.
The repo rate hike adds to the fastest ever escalation in cost of money. The hikes began in May 2022 when repo rate was at 4%. 6 hikes later, the benchmark rate is at 6.5%. Though the pace of hikes has slackened from 0.5 percentage point to 35 basis points in the December policy to 0.25 point now. The sustained rate hikes and the fight against inflation may have compromised on economic growth though. The RBI has forecast a growth rate of 6.4% in 2023-24, which is lower than what the economic survey projected just 9 days ago. It is also much lower than the 7% GDP growth expected in 2022-23.
A corporate museum called The Journey has got everyone talking. This museum showcases the origins of the DS Group, its struggling era, initial phase of establishment, the downfall followed by rejuvenation of family members, revival of business and reincarnation of the belief of the founder Sri Satyapalji. It's actually the art of storytelling, which involves a wide range of media and multimedia tools backed by context-driven, strong narrative that has made the outcome truly an undulating one. It took 2 years for this museum to be completed.
I took over the business and I used to see the files of my father, the records and other things. So I came to know that what was the hard work he put in. And in 50s and 60s, where there was no brand consciousness, he used to work hard. We got those handmade designs and other things. Creating brand where trademark and branding was not known to anybody. So then we started collecting them, and there were huge bundles of papers and other things. So we started developing a biography on him.
Okay.
So in 2014 we launched his biography, and वो इतना डाटा कलेक्ट करते करते हमारे को मतलब ये लगा कि अब हमारे को ये म्यूज़ियम के लायक सामान है, तो फिर हमने म्यूज़ियम पे काम करना शुरू करा. And so that from my grandfather's time to father and the next generation and whatever development is going on, all is depicted in the museum.
Jeans Company, Planet Easy.
Hello there, very good morning. You're watching India's Agenda. I'm Sriharikota. Let's get started with the headlines, the top stories this Friday morning first. City of Nawabs turns into a business hub as Lucknow is all set to host global business elite. Yogi eyes over 23 lakh crore investments. Prime Minister all set to inaugurate Global Investment Summit. Ahead of Prime Minister's visit to Mumbai, chawls of the city covered with white cloth. Congress launches an attack, says attempt to hide poverty. Battered Turkey picks up pieces. Over 21,000 have been killed in deadly quakes. India Today reports from the quake epicenter.
They shout out the name of their relatives and hope that someone will hear something and respond, and that is where rescue effort will start. This, as of now, is a race against time to save lives.
India upholds the values of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is one as Indian soldiers pull out survivors from debris in ravaged towns of Turkey. Top story, death, destruction and despair continues to grip Turkey. Relief and rescue operations enters the fifth day as multiple quakes wreak havoc in Turkey. Over 21,000 people have died, thousands injured, millions left homeless in one of the deadliest tremors in decades. Dramatic rescue continues to hunt in fact for thousands trapped under the rubble, under the debris. Hope quickly turning into despair as it has been more than 72 hours after the devastating earthquakes. Amid freezing temperatures, several families were seen living in their cars, their homes reduced to dust, to rubble. Meanwhile, Turkey's President Recep Erdogan urged citizens to be patient and pledged to rebuild shattered towns and cities within a year. Our managing editor Gaurav Sawant is in ground zero right now. Gaurav is in Nurdagi in Turkey getting us the very latest. Gaurav, a devastating situation there. Give us a sense of how things are, where you are and the kind of efforts that are still on to at least just recover somebody from the debris alive.
Hello and welcome to an India Today special broadcast that comes to you from Nurdagi in Turkey. I'm Gaurav Sawant. Now, Nurdagi, as the name suggests, means the divine mountain, and that's exactly what you see behind me. Of course, the hope once again here is for divine intervention to be able to recover people. Now, these behind me are the rescue teams. I'll request camera person Kripal Singh to show us. These are the rescue teams. It's still about 5:30 in the morning, -6 degrees early this morning, and people are now gearing up, queuing up. They have their breakfast here. These are all the rescue teams, the rescue workers. They are the ones who've been working round the clock for the past 3.5, 4 days trying to rescue people. So this is their first meal of the day. They have a meal here and then they spread out to different areas. Even last night, if I may, there were several aftershocks that were felt here. And despite that biting cold, it was snowing in some parts. People were out through the night trying to at least survive. Now, just look around. You still have snow on these mountain tops. It's very, very cold here. These are the tents where the rescue workers are staying. These are also the tents where you have some of the aid material that has come in, and it's from here that people spread out. And if you just look behind, the damaged building will give you an idea no place here in Noordagi or this entire area has been left untouched by the devastating earthquake. Now it's going to be day 5. Finding people alive, extremely difficult, but it's that eternal hope, Sneha. It's the hope that people will be able to find someone alive, and we'll also take you to the Indian camp all the best. We'll take you to the Indian camp because the Indian, NDRF team was able to one 6-year-old child alive in the debris yesterday. We'll get you that story and we'll get you more about their effort that's on. And some of these youngsters impacted by the earthquake now out in the open, they're also coming here for a quick meal before everyone, because these children often take teams to areas where they think people could be trapped, or their families take people to areas where they think people could be trapped in an effort to rescue as many people as possible, Sneha.
Well, absolutely. That really is the effort. It's difficult, Gaurav, given that 72 hours have gone by. The death toll is only increasing, but the kind of information, Gaurav, that you are constantly getting to us is just speaking or giving us a sense of how just so many children are being left orphaned. Numerous stories of parents dying in the quake, children being pulled out alive of the rubble. The government has a huge task before itself in the sense of rehabilitating those who've been left behind, orphans, young children who have simply nowhere to go, isn't it?
You're absolutely right. In fact, President Erdogan here advised people to remain patient. We were reporting from an area in Hatay. Hatay, again, that's the other part of South, again, one of the worst impacted areas. And in Hatay, in one building, they managed to rescue some children. Unfortunately, not the parents. The parents are still missing. Siblings are still missing. Frustration level is rising because people say the relief work is too slow, or more effort needs to be put in. So that's when an effort is being made as far as the authorities are concerned to reassure people that a lot is being done. It is taking time because the scale, the magnitude of the crisis is so huge. When you travel from one area to the other here in Turkey, especially in central and south Turkey, it's amazing the kind of, the distances, the kind of damage and the kind of effort that's being put in by people. The effort is tremendous that is being put in to help people. But as you look around, the challenges also are immense as far as authorities are concerned.
Quickly, Gaurav, India has helped Turkey. A lot of response from India in terms of sending in the NDRF, also medical aid. Just walk us through the kind of efforts India has made to just try and pull Turkey out of this crisis.
So let me now take you towards the Indian camp. That's where we are headed. This is the NDRF team, the familiar orange jacket and their Siachen clothing. So this is the NDRF team that's now preparing for the operations, and we'll be heading out with them in just a moment. So all of them, they're just having a very quick breakfast. As soon as the breakfast is over, now, like I was telling you, there's just one, this is the common point. This is the common food point for all aid workers, irrespective of the country they've come from, irrespective of the rank of an individual. There are some countries who've sent their senior officers. So whether it's a senior officer or a young, rescuer, they all queue up in the same place. They all live in the same tents, all live in the same area. This is where they pick up their food. This is where they stay. A quick meal, and then in these buses they are off. And India Today will be reporting along with this team, because it's a very crucial area once again where this team is headed out. There is some information that there are lives, that there could be some people in the debris. So there's one team that's already working there. That team that's worked through the night will be relieved by this team that goes in. And just see how cold it is. If I could just show you, look, there is a very thick layer of ice on the windscreen of the car. So this is how cold it is. This incidentally is an Indian vehicle. As you can see, it's a UP14 number. These are vehicles that were flown in on board those special C-17 Globemaster Indian Air Force aircraft. So the Indian team that's travelled, there are 3 teams of 50 personnel each of the NDRF. The National Disaster Response Force. They've flown in with their own vehicles, their own minibus. Saab, Jai Hind, kya hal chal?
आपको जानता हूँ सर, आपका नाम क्या? आप आर्मी को कवर करते हैं।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
आपका नाम है सर ध्यान से।
गौरव सावंत। So this NDRF team, we've just fetched up with them. We've just this team will be going out with them. So their vehicles all lined up here. We'll be going out with them. We'll be reporting from the area where there is hope. Yesterday they found one 6-month-old child, 6-year-old child alive. There is hope others could be found alive there, and that is where we'll be reporting from, Sneha.
Absolutely. Gaurav, also a sense of the manner in which the other countries are also helping out. The UN has stepped in, rightly so. They have in fact poured in help to not just in Turkey but also in Syria, which also is seeing this disaster unfold, really, isn't it?
You're absolutely right. So at this camp where we are at Noor Dagi, you have the Indian team which is here, and the Indian team is all lined up. And let's in a moment try and talk to them. Sir, आप लोग अभी कहाँ पर जा रहे हैं सर? कहाँ पर आज आप रेस्क्यू?
कजन टिप पे यहीं पर ही लोकल में ही यही जो सिटी है, तो यहाँ पर कल भी रेस्क्यू किया था, परसों भी रेस्क्यू किया था। आज नई साइट मिलेगी।
तो किस तरह से आप लोग जाते हैं? कैसे डिसाइड होता है कहाँ जाना है और कितने लोग जा रहे हैं?
सर, एक यहाँ का लोकल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन होता है, वो तय करता है कि हमें उनके साथ कौन सी साइट पे जाना है, कहाँ पे। जी सर।
अच्छा, और कितने घंटे आप लोग काम कर रहे हैं और कितने लोग की टीम अभी यहाँ पर है?
सर, तकरीबन 2 टीम है, 102 आदमी हैं टोटल। 3 टीम नहीं, एक टीम दूसरी जगह गई हुई है। हाँ। तो कुल मिलाकर के 100 से ऊपर टीमें हैं। और सर, इसको 2 भागों में बांटा गया है। तो सुबह से लेकर के शाम तक, एक दोपहर तक रहती है और एक दोपहर के बाद ऐसे। और रात को लाइट न होने के कारण और आफ्टर शॉक आते रहते हैं। लाइट न होने के कारण सावन सर तो थोड़ा रिस्क ज़्यादा है। रिस्क होने के कारण में नाइट में काम, यही लोकल लोग यहाँ पर जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन है वो बंद करवा देता है।
अच्छा, रात में काम बंद करवा देता है।
जी सर।
थैंक यू, विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट सर।
जी सर। अमरपाल सिंह,
थैंक यू।
जानकारी के लिए हमारे कमांडेंट साहब
बस आ रहे हैं, कमांडेंट साहब के पास भी आ ही रहे हैं हम लोग। तो we're just talking to this team as they prepare to go into operation. So this is team 1. That's another team that's out there. The Turkish team. Let me just give you a lay of the land here. Some of the teams are actually on their 2-wheelers because that's also a way to get faster to that area. So again, it just burn wood here out in the open, nowhere to stay. The effort is to be able to rescue as many people as possible and as quickly as possible. And imagine they've been living out in the open with their blankets in their tents with nothing except wood to burn in a place like Noor Dagi. It's snowing. It was snowing last night and there were earthquake aftershocks that were being felt even when we got here. Sneha.
Gaurav, it's not easy at all, to rehabilitate those people who've been evacuated, who've been found under the debris. Give us a sense of the kind of the manner in which the government there and agencies, independent agencies in other countries, are trying to offer the best possible comfort to all of these people who have been retrieved in the sense that they've been found and who need help, not just help in terms of shelter, but also the kind of trauma that all of these people are going through.
So resources are coming from across the world. We were at the airport both at Istanbul and at Adana. Also, we've been told at Gaziantep. All the airports, aircraft are coming in with resources from across the world, and then those resources are being distributed. They're being sent to various places. So just look around, whether it's water, milk, food, vegetables, meat, medicines, everything is coming in large numbers for people. So as far as resources are concerned, they are coming in. There are massive trucks that are carrying these resources to different areas, but the scale of the crisis is so huge that it takes a lot of effort to be able to get those resources. Just look all around. These are international aid workers and rescue parties from different countries who are lined up here. So, next to the Indian camp is the Israeli camp. Next to the Israeli camp was the Turkish camp. And we've been speaking to rescuers from different parts of the world. So, their effort is the local governor here. He every day comes along with his team, and they then give a task to different countries to get to a different area and look at. Rescuing people becomes extremely difficult. Why? Because to bring life out of the debris is easier said than done, as we found out in Hatay. I bring you this report. It's a desperate race against time at this location in Hatay as rescue workers grapple. The team that you see just behind me with ropes, they actually tied a rope onto a concrete slab and tried to go down, because the information is that at least 50 to 100 people may still be trapped in the rubble here. Authorities refuse to confirm that number, but that's the number we are getting from the rescue workers. Some sounds, some voices can be heard in this debris. You see a lot of smoke because this building had caught fire as that earthquake shook this area, and this was a multi-storied building with a large number of apartments. By some accounts, it's a cluster of buildings together with over 50 apartments, and people were stuck inside. Just a short while back, that image that you see on the right, which is extremely heartbreaking, one body has been recovered. This father was part of the rescue operation because he wanted to help locate his son who was trapped inside. The son's mortal remains there next to their car. The father just waiting there. There are other relatives who are still inside, and that is why he refuses to go. The family standing right behind, waiting by that rubble in an effort to get some information of their loved ones. As you notice, more relatives are now going up. I'll request camera person Kripal Singh to come this side. See, these are relatives that are going up because they say that their loved ones will respond to their voices, and that is why every few minutes somebody goes up, shouts out a name of their loved one. They come, we'll try and get closer to the rubble, though it's extremely dangerous, but we will try and get closer to get you up to speed. Now this is where they shout out the name of their relatives and hope that someone will hear something and respond, and that is where rescue effort will start. It's a concrete block. As you can look around, these are several floors that just collapsed. This, as of now, is a race against time to save lives. With cameraman Kripal Singh in Hatay, Turkey, Gaurav Sawant for India Today.
We have some more news coming in, and this is from back home in India. We are going straight to these pictures of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Uttar Pradesh, inauguration of the UP Global Summit. We are getting you all the details. This is the Global Investor Summit that is being held in Lucknow, just being inaugurated as we speak. Prime Minister Narendra Modi along with the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Yogi Adityanath. We can also see the Defence Minister on your screens. In fact, this is from Lucknow, where the inauguration of the 3-day Uttar Pradesh Global Investors Summit 2023 has happened. Well, remember, this is attracting several MOUs and investment proposals of over 27 lakh crore.
आपको याद होगा कि प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी जब गुजरात के
The These are investment proposals of over 27 lakh crore that we are looking at as Uttar Pradesh aims to become a $1 trillion economy in the next 5 years, is what has been said by the government. So it's an important day, and this is a 3-day event, remember, the Global Investors Summit, in which Uttar Pradesh is going to bring in investors. The Prime Minister is inaugurating this today, talking about how Uttar Pradesh is all said, in fact, to be the hub as far as global investment is concerned. Abhishek has more details on that story. The message really is that this is your destination. If you're looking at investing in India, Uttar Pradesh is the place where you need to be, isn't it? Abhishek.
Hello?
Abhishek, if you can hear me, I was asking you that the message really is that global investors are now being invited to invest in Uttar Pradesh, offering opportunities and, assistance, help in terms of making this region just so much more, easy from the point of doing business here, isn't it? Prime Minister Modi inaugurating the 3-day UP Global Investors Summit in Lucknow. He's inaugurating the Global Trade Show and also launching Invest UP 2.0. This is the Global Investors Summit, which is in fact starting today. It will end on the 12th of February. The flagship investment summit of the government of UP. It's bringing together policy makers, industry leaders, think tanks and leaders from across the world to collectively explore business opportunities and forge partnerships in this region. Invest UP 2.0 is a comprehensive, investor-centric and service-oriented investment ecosystem in Uttar Pradesh that endeavors to deliver relevant, well-defined, standardized services to investors there. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, along with Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, are in fact there in Lucknow. The Minister of Industrial Development also is going to now anytime deliver the welcome address. There are going to be 10,000 delegates is what we've been given to understand, including 400 plus international delegates from 41 countries. Top leaders of the industry, union ministers, ministers of participating countries and diplomats is what we know. Abhishek Mishra is there for us. Abhishek, this is a 3-day long event. The idea is to send the message that Uttar Pradesh, or UP essentially, is your place. If investment is something that you're looking at, UP is going to help you and provide you with all the opportunities to invest in this region.
Well, certainly, Sneha, and that is the only reason that, throughout past couple of months, the government have been trying to push this particular summit, not just domestically, but also internationally. All the cabinet ministers, most of them have visited more than 13 countries. They met with the investors, they did the presentation there, signed some of the MOUs, and now today it's the day when the government, which is claimed to get the investment of approximately 25 lakh crores in Uttar Pradesh, is going to be signed here in this premises. Now, also what is important, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived there. His presence is also making it important in the terms of how the central government and the state government hand in hand in working together, and the double engine narrative which the BJP government is giving here in Uttar Pradesh is something which is the USP as far as the summit is concerned. There has been a lot of relaxations given to the industrialists, transparency, single door facilities, and all those things which the government has claimed is something which is going to be the major point of attraction for the industrialists. There's also spoken some of the foreign investors who have come here from France and Russia. They are saying that in terms of opportunity, it's going to be an important state contributing major contribution in the Indian economy. And also CM Yogi Adityanath, who is very optimistic of contributing approximately 1 trillion in the country's share, is something which is the major highlight. The program has begun, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi is about to launch this, will inaugurate, and then only this historic day where the UP government is claiming to provide an opportunity to all these investors will begin. And it's going to be a big day as far as Uttar Pradesh today is concerned.
Undoubtedly, Abhishek, the fact of the matter is that along with opportunities to investors, there will also be jobs for the local people that's going to be created. This is something the government is going to talk about undoubtedly, given that the opportunities vis-a-vis employment it wants to create and has promised to create, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. And, in terms of jobs, that has always been a question not only by the opposition, but also for the commoners. It has been always said that the government is only trying to project investment. They're only trying to, organize such grand affairs. But what is happening on the ground? And that is something which has always haunted this government. And that is why this time it has been said with approximately 25 lakh crores of investment, 2 crore direct and indirect employment is what has been said. Last time, in 2018, when the Investor Summit was held, approximately 4.5 lakh crores of investment happened here, and 35 lakh was the number of the employment which was generated directly, indirectly in the state. So that is something which is also a major point. The industrialists also believe that, the human resources are very feasible and accessible here in Uttar Pradesh. The cost of the investment is also very low, which comes along as a hand in hand for the industrialists who are coming here. So that is also a major focus, and that remains to be seen, because not just only about the MOUs which are going to be signed today, how many of them will be actually able to get their plant on the ground, how many employment will be generated, and in terms of the reach, because now the government is saying that not just about Ghaziabad and Noida anymore, or Lucknow for instance. They've gone to the different districts. They want that employment and that units to be set up in the integral parts of India, of Uttar Pradesh, and that is what the government has planned for. It remains to be seen what will be the achievable target after these 3 days of grand affair, but it's very clear that with this investment and with all these delegates, industrialists and the representatives who have come here, the major target is to set up Uttar Pradesh as one of the leading states in terms of investment, not behind with Gujarat and Maharashtra, and they can give a neck-to-neck fight in terms of the growth, expenditure and the revenue which will be generated, contributing biggest share in the economy of the country. Yes.
Absolutely. Abhishek also gave us a sense of the itinerary as far as these 3 days starting today is concerned. This is something that's the investment summit is going to in fact wrap up on the 12th of February. So what do we expect today, tomorrow and the day after?
Well, absolutely. It's not going to be just only a grand ceremony. There will be a lot of sessions which will be happening. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be, no doubt, will be inaugurating this event. He will be, addressing on the dais, speaking about his vision for Uttar Pradesh, and with this summit, how it's going to add on to the 3 trillion economy of the country. At the same time, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath will also be attending one of the sessions in the afternoon when Prime Minister will depart from here. After that, Home Minister Amit Shah is also going to be there today, and he will be, along with Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, will be attending a very important session with the MSMEs. So that is also on the platter. Second day, tomorrow, the other ministers of the union will be there participating in different segments, different sessions. There will be an interactive activity as well, because it is not only about, about a show, about a grand festivity, but it's about how much, interaction can be done. And it's an opportunity for the UP government to get all those industries here. So that seminars and that conferences will also be held. A participation of, industries from more than 13 countries are there, because these ministers, the UP ministers, have gone to respective countries like USA, Germany, Japan, Canada, UK, Australia, and they've gone there and has an interaction with all these industries about the different sector which they are interested in, be it, the retail, the IT, education sector is something which is also coming this time. We've also seen investment in the health and hospitality sector, so that is also something which is a major highlight of the show. So indeed, not just making it a grand affair, but also to interact with all these industrialists and creating an environment which is very commerce friendly, and at the same time, taking the domestic and the investors from the country as well, is something is going to be a 3-day highlight of the UP Investor Summit here in Lucknow. Yes.
Right. Abhishek getting us all of those details. I'm going to come back to you. In fact, for more on that, let's just take a look at this report now. Lucknow is all set to host the high-profile UP Global Investors Summit. This program has just begun. Highly anticipated event, remember, that is going to be attended by top honchos. Lucknow, the city of Nawabs, is all decked up and ready to host this summit. Take a look at this report.
The city of Nawabs' stunning transformation into a host for corporate leaders. Welcome to Lucknow, the capital of Uttar Pradesh, set to receive policymakers business titans, academics, diplomats, and political representatives from across the planet. The UP government's flagship Global Investors Summit begins in Lucknow on Friday till Sunday. We show you the venues set to throng with the gatherings of the global business elite.
Made especially in the tent city of Lucknow for the investors who are coming. Get the view out here and feel amazingly how beautifully this entire structure has been developed into tents. This entire park named as Naimisharanya Kund and the majestic water out here, which gives a pretty close feeling to the Ganga of Rishikesh. And just behind that, the flags of different countries who are coming here for the investment purposes, who are invited.
An initiative aligned to the Prime Minister's vision to make India a $5 trillion economy. And the UP government has set an aspirational target of turning the state into a $1 trillion economy in the next 5 years.
फरवरी 18 में इन्वेस्टर समिट आयोजित किया था। 468 में से ज़्यादातर को, और मेरा मानना है पिछले 5 वर्ष के अंदर 4 लाख करोड़ रुपए के निजी प्रस्ताव जमीनी धरातल पर उतरे हैं। जितनी उत्तर प्रदेश की जीडीपी है उससे ज़्यादा की निवेश उत्तर प्रदेश के अंदर हम लोग अगले कुछ वर्षों के अंदर करवाएं।
22 लाख करोड़ से ज़्यादा।
मैं क्या करूं, उससे ज़्यादा का हो जाएगा।
To be inaugurated by the Prime Minister, the annual summit is billed as comprehensive, service-oriented investment ecosystem in Uttar Pradesh. Deluxe tents, 5-star facilities, medical and emergency crews on standby.
UP is all set for the Investors Summit 2023 and the Vrindavan Yojana area has been developed into a tent city. And we are here at that particular golf cart to show you, to make you embrace the beauty, how beautifully the entire area has been decked up into tents, various centers of different departments, infra, banking, medical, others. And if you see a larger look from here,
the summit is expected to draw more than 10,000 delegates from home and overseas. A unique forum in the Hindi heartland for business networking, knowledge sharing, and strategic partnerships. The state aims to use its potential to the fullest.
रेवेन्यू सरप्लस स्टेट के रूप में आगे बढ़ सके तो स्वाभाविक रूप से हर व्यक्ति आएगा। सबसे अच्छी फर्टाइल लैंड है। पिछले 6 वर्ष के अंदर प्रदेश की कानून व्यवस्था सबसे बेहतरीन कानून व्यवस्था में देश के अंदर रही है। सबसे सस्ता और सबसे अच्छा मैन पावर, युवा शक्ति हमारे पास मौजूद है।
India's rich heritage on full display. Depiction of the Ramayana, an Ayodhya tent city. Sand art, a stunning confluence of modernity and tradition.
Here you can get a haircut, beard cut, or anything you want. So such are the specifications out here. There, in this particular cottage point, what we say is the Ayodhya tent house, tent point here. And right in front of me, you will also see a gym, a spa point here, where this is the gym, and this is the spa, and this is the gaming zone. Everything is there.
To these pictures, in fact, of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is inaugurating the Uttar Pradesh Global Business Summit. This is the summit of investors. Let's go straight to these pictures of the Prime Minister coming in from the city of Lucknow, where this grand event is being inaugurated. from the city of Lucknow, where the Prime Minister has just inaugurated the Uttar Pradesh Investors Summit. It's going to be the mega event, going to be spanning over 3 days, in which the city of Lucknow will be in fact hosting global business elite. There are participants from 41 countries, investors from all of these countries, and also from India. It's going to be a 3-day event. This is going to be the global trade show as well as the Invest UP 2.0 program. Global Investors Summit has begun today. This is the flagship investment summit of the government of Uttar Pradesh. It's going to bring together policy makers, industry leaders, think tanks and leaders from across the world to collectively explore business opportunities and forge partnerships.
Following the growth principles laid down by India's visionary Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, Uttar Pradesh is on its way to becoming the most preferred investment destination for global investors and industrialists. One of the fastest growing Indian states, UP ranks high in ease of doing business with zero tolerance policy against crime and corruption. For its cultural vibrance, value system and 250 million populace. UP is not only India's single largest consumer market, but also a bountiful supplier of skilled human resources. The state has a vast land bank and robust policies to ensure the availability of land for investors to do business. A number of sector-specific industrial parks are being developed. Blessed with natural resources, fertile land and perennial rivers, the state offers tremendous opportunities in agro, food processing, dairy and textiles manufacturing sectors. With 96 lakh MSMEs, Uttar Pradesh is Digital India's biggest hub of mobile manufacturing, an emerging data center hub, pharma and educational hub.
यूपी में जिस प्रकार कानून व्यवस्था की स्थिति सुधरी है,
we continue to get you all the latest updates from the city of Lucknow as far as the Investors Summit is concerned. For the moment, it's time for a quick break here.
यहाँ की प्रशासनिक क्षमता और
Over 3 decades, Business Today has delivered news, views and analysis like no other. Now, Business Today presents the future.
Could I request Mr. Arun Puri, our Editor-in-Chief, to come up on the stage with the Finance Minister as we unveil the anniversary issue of Business Today. This is the 31st anniversary of India's #1 news magazine.
BT produces a cover with an AI avatar of Pichan on its 31st anniversary issue. Visit businesstoday.in/subscribe and subscribe now. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Deepika Bhardwaj, a well-known activist, is now joining us. Deepika, I believe, in fact, that the pictures that you have accessed of this child is what you've really shared with the media. Correct me if I'm wrong. What did you really see? Did you take these pictures by yourself? Tell us a little more about how this child is doing at this point in time.
Hi, Sneha. Good morning. Thank you so much for bringing this case to light. Yes, these pictures were taken by me. In fact, I'm the one who brought the case to light. Early in the morning yesterday, I got a call from a known of mine in Gurgaon that he has seen this girl brutally thrashed, and if there is anything that I can do to save this girl. I immediately put a tweet out seeking for some rescue organizations that could rescue this child. And I did not know the state she was in. I had only heard on the phone from my known. When I did not get any response from any rescue organization or any leads, I reached out to Preeti Bhardwaj Dalal, who is the Vice Chairperson, State Commission for Women, who immediately took cognizance of the matter and put me across to the One-Stop Sakhi Center in Gurgaon, Miss Pinky Malik, who was then very, very proactive. She immediately alerted the cops. The girl was rescued within hours from the home where she was working, and she was exactly in the same condition. Her entire face, there's no place on her body which is not bruised, Sneha. I went to the police station. I have personally gone and met this child at the hospital. She's getting treated right now, but she's in a terrible state. She's rescued and she's safe right now, but I have no words to explain the brutality to which she was being subjected to. And I think this was the extreme, but she was being beaten up every single day, what she told me, in the last 5 months. They did not give her a penny. This is an educated couple working with corporates in Gurgaon, and I really have no words on the insanity that I've seen on this child. And how can someone do this to such a young girl?
We have some news just coming in. Match referee has showed the footage to Jadeja and Rohit, and that's all is what we've been given to understand. He was informed that Jadeja was using an ointment for soreness on his index finger. No charges have been pressed against Jadeja or the team. So there is relief as far as Jadeja is concerned. Remember, that video went completely viral. A lot of chatter erupted on social media and mainstream media after it was being speculated about whether there was any tampering involved or not. But in fact, this was an ointment that Jadeja had taken from Siraj for his soreness on the finger. So these were allegations of ball tampering, and now it has been clarified again that Jadeja in fact was only using an ointment to ease out the pain on his fingers. The Indian team has also told the match referee that Jadeja had in fact only used a pain relief cream or an ointment on his finger. In fact, this clarification had to be made after this video went completely viral, after visuals of the spinner rubbing a substance on his bowling finger. That visual on your screen went completely viral. Nitin is with us for for more details on that, Nitin, in that sense, it's a relief with this clarification also coming in, and it's evident now that there will be no charges pressed against Jadeja or the team.
Well, of course, because he was not tempering the ball, he was just applying some ointment. Because whenever a spinner used to bowl after a long time, Jadeja was out from that cricketing activity for at least 6 months. So when he got to bowl, and he actually bowled around 20-22 overs. So his fingers actually got swollen, and that is why Siraj went out with the permission of the umpire, and he applied some of ointment to just heal the story. So that is why Jadeja, actually, that referee also showed the footage to Jadeja and Rohit, and that's all. He was informed that Jadeja was using an ointment for some soreness on his index finger, and no charges have been pressed against Jadeja or the term. So it's very clear from BCCI and also from the match referee.
Well, thank you for the moment. Nitin is getting us all of those details as far as that controversy is concerned. It's relief for the team and for Jadeja, as no charges will be pressed against him or the team, is what Nitin is telling us. We're moving on now. A quick check of stories across the country in brief. As ferocious Adani fireworks continue to echo in Parliament, the Supreme Court is set to take up 3 petitions seeking court-monitored probe into short seller. Hindenburg researchers report that accuse the Adani group of stock manipulation and accounting fraud by using shell firms over the course of decades. Union Minister Giriraj Singh backs controversial Cow Hug Day celebrations, backing the Animal Welfare Board of India's advisory to celebrate Cow Hug Day on the 14th of February. Minister said everyone should love cows. The notice has created a storm, with many opposition leaders calling it ridiculous. Telugu Desam party workers clashed with police on Thursday during the TDP National General Secretary Nara Lokesh's Padyatra Yuva Galam in Chittoor. Amid massive crowd, party workers were seen jostling with the police forces. Former Jharkhand Chief Minister Shibu Soren has been admitted to Medanta Hospital in Ranchi. Doctors said Soren was having difficulty breathing. He's also had an infection in his lungs and kidney. Doctors are currently examining his condition. Further treatment is underway. 7 workers died due to suffocation during the removal of oil sludge in an edible oil tank in Kakinada district of Andhra Pradesh. This incident took place on Thursday when one of the labourers was cleaning the oil tanker. He slipped and fell into this. To save him, 6 other people entered the tanker and died. Story and much more going up on our website as well. That's indiatoday.in. You can also download the India Today app. News continues on the other side. Thanks for watching.
The makers of Selfie have shared the teaser of Kudieni Teri. The song will feature Akshay